We have done a couple movies recently, and I actually have really enjoyed making them, surprisingly, as I am not the biggest movie buff. So far, we have done November, a cultural folk horror, and we have also covered The Untamed, a strange Lovecraftian drama. However, this week we have probably one of the most disgusting horror monsters I've seen ever in a movie. It is also strange that I have seen zero coverage of this movie online, even from disturbing horror creators like myself, as this monster is truly something special. The movie itself also has a pretty easy to see message hidden under the main story of the film. The movie we are covering this week is a Finnish film called Hatching, a movie directed by Hanna Bergholm and written by Ija Rautsi. I didn't say that right, probably. A disturbing movie that if I saw it as a child, it probably would have scarred me for life. The monster in this film is something special, and I kinda love it in a way. The movie itself is dark, but not as dark as some of the other stories we have covered. However, it does still go into some dark themes, so be prepared. If you don't know how we do stuff on this channel, a video is usually split into 3 parts. The intro is in the beginning, which is what we are doing now, where we discuss the creator of the work and a little bit about it. Then we get into the summary, which is the longest part of the video, and then finally we get into the analysis, where we discuss the themes or messages of the work. All my videos are structured like this, so if you are new here, welcome, and enjoy the video. But without getting into that intro any longer, let's get into the Finnish horror film, Hatching. The movie opens on a handheld camera footage of a preteen girl doing what looks to be gymnastics practice in her living room. Shots are interspersed with nature shots as well. Very pretty camera work and landscapes. In the background, a creepy song plays. A hand reaches out from the camera person and it looks like the mother of this girl who is filming her. She scares her daughter and this is like a family vlog is what it looks like. The mother calls her daughter Tinya, which is our main character's name here. More shots are interspersed in this vlog, like the dad working on figurines and a bird cawing from above. The last little shot of this vlog is a nice family landscape view of Tinya, her mother, her father, and her brother. It looks like a happy family, almost perfect. The mother ends her vlog off by saying, "I hope your everyday life is as lovely as ours." From the way this is presented through this vlog, this family appears to be perfect. As they are saying goodbye to the camera, a loud thud is heard outside. The family all looks over to the noise to see a window and a bloody feather on it. It looks like a bird hit the window and is now injured. Tinya opens the window to look for the bird only for it to come flying in, crashing into everything, breaking vases and glasses everywhere, disrupting the family's perfect living room and perfect day. The entire family tries to catch it, and the bird flies to the chandelier and crashes that down as well. Tinya finally manages to throw the blanket over the bird. Triumphant, she asks the mother if she should take the bird back outside. The mother only says, "Bring the bird here, sweetie." And as Tinya does bring the bird and the blanket there, the mother promptly snaps the bird's neck without warning. I guess she didn't like it ruining her living room. The mother gives it back to Tinya and tells her to throw it in the trash. Tinya does so and looks at the poor thing's corpse among the other organic waste. The wind blows and a dog barks, which snaps Tinya out of looking at the dead bird. She closes the lid of the trash and walks away. However, as she does, she fails to notice the bird move a little bit, still alive. The title card appears, Hahanhau Toja, or The Hatching in English, as that creepy song continues in the background. Tinya looks over to where the dog was barking and sees that she has some new neighbors with a French bulldog, and they have a girl about Tinya's age as well. This little girl notices and says, "Oh, hello." Her name's Rita. Tinya introduces herself as well, and then asks if she can pet the bulldog. But the bulldog bites Tinya out of nowhere. Rita apologizes profusely, saying the dog has never bitten anyone before. She's horribly sorry. Tinya says, "Don't worry. It was her fault." That night, the mother is singing to Tinya's brother, a lullaby or something. And she's singing that song that was playing before, a seemingly fictional folk song about a baby bird whose mother abandoned it. The baby bird, who has no name, is the child of another bird named Ali, and has no one now to take care of it. The song is quite beautiful, and I would play it here if the copyright gods wouldn't smite me down. As the mother is singing the song to the little boy, Tinya comes in and sings along with her. The little boy, ungrateful, demands they sing it louder. They do so, and the mother leaves to be on her own as Tina finishes the song and the boy falls asleep. Tina walks into her mother's room, who appears to be editing that vlog. She motions her daughter to come over and take a look. She shows her the video so far and how everything in this vlog and in this family looks perfect on camera. The mother says that in this vlog that her daughter Tina has the first gymnastics competition coming up. She's a perfect super gymnast. As the vlog plays, Tina pauses it. The mother asks why'd she do that, and Tina says her toes weren't pointed the right way when she was posing. It wasn't perfect. The mother says that's okay. She'll crop the video out so it doesn't show her toes. Which is strange. The mother doesn't say it's okay or it's not a big deal or it's perfect the way it is. The mother says she'll make sure to show that the vlog doesn't show the imperfections. I wonder if that's a theme of this. Tina afterwards says that the new family moved in next door and she met the daughter, Rita. And she has a really cute dog and she invited Tina over tomorrow. But the mother says, "Aw, Tina, no. She has to focus on the competition. Unless she doesn't want to be a super gymnast." Tina stammers, "No, she's focusing on it," she swears. She won't go over to Rita's tomorrow. In bed that night, the wind blows the curtains and Tina walks outside and looks in the trash bin to see the bird is gone. But she hears strained cawing in the woods nearby. She ventures out into the woods in the middle of the night and follows the cawing. She follows the noises to find the bird, in pain and dying on the ground. How did it get out here? Tina whispers that she'll help the bird. But as she tries, the bird seems to be in great pain. Tina knows it will not survive. She reluctantly decides to put the poor bird out of its misery by picking up a rock and slowly smashing its head in. But after one hit, the bird just cries louder in more pain. So she hits it again, and again, and again, beating the poor thing's head in until it's nothing but mush. She looks like she's about to vomit when it's over, but she looks near the dead bird to find a little egg. She must have just killed a mother. So, Tina takes the egg and puts it in her bed and covers it with a stuffed animal to keep it warm. At the gymnasium, lots of girls, including Tina and Rita, are working on their routines. Tina's coach tells her to hurry up and get going. Tina does her routine on the bar and lands, but she falls and it isn't perfect. The coach says she has to trust herself and try to do that flip at the end of the routine. If she doesn't, she can't let her compete in the gymnastics competition. Tina says she can try it again. Let her try one more time. The coach says no, she'll hurt herself if she continues any more today. Take it easy for the rest of the day. Tina's friends come over to her and ask if she wants to hang out, but Tina says she can't. She has to go for a run to keep in perfect form. Her friends walk away and laugh that she's so weird, leaving Tina behind to stir in her failure for the day. Tina then goes on that run, and when she gets home, she sees her mother helping a man in the living room. And her mother sort of feels him up when he gets off the ladder to kiss her. When we see that this man is decidedly not Tina's father. They notice Tina's home and quickly stop kissing. Her mother clears her throat and says, "This is Taro." Well, this is an awkward situation. Taro grabs his stuff and leaves without a word. It looks like mom here is cheating on the nice father with this handyman. Tina goes to her room and her mother comes in. The awkwardness is palpable. The mom says she got Tina a sparkly new outfit for the competition. She has to shine, right? Then there's silence. The mother just comes out and says it. "You saw us, didn't you?" Tina just nods. Her mom says that sometimes adults have special friends. Tina rightfully asks, "What about Dad?" Her mother says, "Well, you know, Dad is Dad. You know how he is." Mom says, "Keep this between us, okay?" She's gonna go away for a few days now. But remember, when she's with her dad for the next few days alone, this stays between them. Tina nods and her mother leaves, and she takes out that egg and puts it up to her ear like a seashell. And she thinks she hears a heartbeat. Then there's this really cool parallel shot where the dad cracks an egg over a bowl. Which, by the way, always crack an egg over a flat surface, people, not on the edge of a bowl. Anyway, Tina takes over for her mother while she is not there, and it looks like she films her dad cooking. Her mother comes back, and Tina's brother, who is named Matthias, by the way, comes and hugs his mother, saying Dad made waffles for her return. He hugs his mother tightly, and she goes to kiss Dad. Poor Dad. He has no idea what's going on. He asks, how's her business trip? How'd it go? And she said, oh, it was lovely. As she sort of looks at Tina as to say, it's our secret, remember? I guess it wasn't a business trip after all. She went to go see Taro. Later, Tina goes to visit her father in the living room, who is playing the guitar by himself. He asks, what's up? And Tina says, nothing. There's an awkward conversation, and it seems Tina wants to tell her dad about Taro, but doesn't. She leaves without saying anything. Poor Dad. Tina then goes to her room to check on the egg, only to find that the egg has grown? It's now the size of an ostrich egg. What? How did this happen? She takes out some scissors and cuts open a teddy bear and hides the egg in the teddy bear's stomach. Whatever's going on with this egg, it isn't natural. Back at the gymnasium, the coach notices Tina try to do the flip at the bar routine and she almost lands it. Coach says, good job, she's almost got it. And there's still one spot open in the competition. There's just one more person trying out today. Coach asks, what's the last person's name? And she says, oh, it's Rita. Oh, it's her new friend. Coach says, okay, Rita, go. And she does the routine and does the flip flawlessly. Coach says that was perfect. Tina's mother stares daggers through her. Then a montage ensues of Tina practicing the routine over and over and over as her mother is pushing her. Tina looks at her hands after a couple hours, now bloody and worn down from the routine being done over and over. The coach comes in and says, it's time to lock up. Even the coach might be worried that Tina's mother is pushing her too hard. But Tina's mother dismisses the coach and says they'll lock up after. They're just going to continue practicing. Coach says, don't overdo it. But the mother makes her continue anyway. Finally, Tina does the flip perfectly. As they leave, Tina's mother says she was thinking about live streaming the performance too. Great. Even more stress to be on Tina. To be perfect. Under the covers back home, Tina comforts the egg. She puts her hand on it and a flashlight over it, seeing the warm insides as she touches it and shushes it, saying she'll take care of it. Almost like a mother to this egg. The next day, we see the mother's trophy shelf. A first place figure skating medal, as well as photos of her in what looks to be the Olympics. Tons of trophies line the shelf as well. She's one of those parents, it seems. She's wearing those things under her eyes to keep bags from forming or whatever, and she rubs a scar on her leg that she has. An imperfection. She clearly only cares about being perfect, or at least looking like she's perfect. Her and Tina once again look at the vlog she is editing. A moment is shown where they're making a cake together. Her mother says that they really had an authentic moment there. Her audience seems to love those, she says. Her mother says she wants to confess something to her daughter. She looks at her and giggles like a schoolgirl and says she thinks she's in love. Tina laughs alongside her mother, thinking she's talking about her dad. But her mom continues and says she has only given to people her entire life, because she feels like that's what women have to do. Only give. But this love she feels, her love for Taro, is the best thing that's ever happened to her. And she has to take care of herself sometimes too, right? As she says Taro's name, Tina's face sours as she realizes she's talking about Taro and not her father. And on top of all of it, her mother says she feels like this is the first time she's really loved someone. Ouch. She says she has to see where this love takes her. Tina understands, right? Tina half-heartedly says, of course. Her mother then says that she's going to go see Taro this weekend too, and she's going to be alone with her dad again. Then, inside Tina's room, the egg has grown to an absurd size. Bigger than any other egg ever has, probably. It's bigger than Tina herself, and she's crying into it like a safety pillow. It seems to be absorbing her tears, her pain. The heartbeat from the egg is louder and louder. And then all of a sudden, crack. Cracking noises. It's hatching. Pieces of shells slowly fall from the egg, and something tries to escape the fleshy interior. A claw appears from the egg and rips through the exterior. Tina runs away and hides in her wardrobe. She peeks out from the crack in the wardrobe and sees something come out of the egg. It's fleshy and has feathers, but is decidedly human-like as well. A disgusting chimera. Tanya falls back in the closet where we hear the thing stand on the floor and walk around the room. Tanya looks through the crack once more to see something not quite human and not quite bird. Its eye is blue, the same color as Tanya's. We cannot see the whole thing, but it screeches and her father calls out, "Is everything okay?" The thing jumps through the window and Tanya hides the bloody egg parts under her covers. Her dad runs in and says, "What happened?" Tanya says, "A bird. A bird hit the window and broke in." But what kind of bird could do that? The next morning, Tanya and her father start to clean up the glass from the window. Dad says the bird must have been wounded, he thinks. There's blood. A lot of it. He asks Tanya what kind of bird was it. Tanya just says she doesn't know. But it was big. That night in her room, Tanya looks at her patched up window as she hears scratching noises at it. She slowly walks over to it out of the bed, puts her hands up to the patchwork, and it comes in. A weird amalgamation of bird and human, staring right down at Tanya. If I saw this scene as a kid, I would have never forgotten it. Like when I saw Return the Slab levels of trauma from this scene. Though the thing isn't hurting her. It has a shard of glass stuck in its little arm. It's making tiny cute bird noises and Tanya helps it by pulling out the glass. It screeches loudly and Tanya covers her face. But when she looks at it, it's mimicking her, covering its own face. It doesn't seem hostile. It takes its little hand and grabs Tanya's little hand, beckoning her to pet it. It sits there in glee as Tanya pets its fleshy and sticky head. She takes the thing to the bathroom and gives it a bath. The weird little guy seems to like it. She smiles at the bird as it puts its beak in the water, making bubbles like a baby. It makes cute little noises and pats the water like a baby or a puppy or a cat. Tanya laughs at it as it does. She seems to have developed a genuine bond with this thing. As she's laughing, Matthias knocks on the door and asks, "What's all the noise?" Tanya freaks out as she has a giant human bird in the bathtub with her, and she goes and bars the door for Matthias. Matthias says he really has to pee, but Tanya pushes him away, saying, "Leave her alone." Then she takes the bird and goes to bed, and she puts the bird under the bed. It stirs, but like a mother with Matthias, she sings the folk song again. The strange bird with its large claw under the bed slowly closes its eyes and goes to sleep, seemingly calmed by her singing. A little while later, they are both asleep, but are awoken by a loud barking. It must be Rita's French bulldog. Tanya doesn't wake up, but the bird does. It runs out from under the bed and through the patched up window as Tanya sleeps restlessly. It goes in the early hours of the morning towards Rita's backyard. All we hear is a dog whining and a fight of some sort. When Tanya wakes up, the bird is just on top of her, just staring at her as she sleeps. It opens its mouth and leaks weird bird stuff onto her. But it gently moves her face with its beak to make her look at the bedside table, where a bloody mess of a once-alive dog lies, now missing its head. Tanya, understandably, finds this disgusting and vomits onto the floor next to her bed. Lovely. The bird jumps to the floor, and then, in the grossest scene of the movie, as someone who isn't a emetophobe feels, the bird begins to do what birds do when their mother vomits for them. It eats it. Pretty disgustingly. But after, it makes some cute noises at the camera with vomit leaking from its beak, and it stares at the camera kind of like a pug. Alright, I can't stay mad at him. He's kind of cute in a way. The next morning, before everybody wakes up, Tanya buries the dead French bulldog in the yard, and Matthias watches from the window in a mask, for some reason. That's never explained, by the way. Later, Tina snuggles next to the bird under the bed as Matthias and their father walk in. Dad asks what Matthias was saying about Tina. And man, it smells in this room. Matthias just says, Tina's a shithead. Why? Dad says, let's see what Tina has to say about the story. Dad looks at her half out from under the bed and confusedly asks what she's doing. He says, whatever, she didn't let Matthias use the bathroom last night. And as a result, he peed the bed again. Tina tries to shoo them away and says, she'll clean the bed, don't worry. As you know, the giant bird human is under the bed with her, and it would probably be bad if they saw it. Matthias just says, Tina went outside last night. I saw her. The bird starts to make noises, but Tina quickly grabs its beak and shushes it. She says, no she didn't. Can she go back to bed now? Dad says, well, okay, being non-confrontational as he is. He then notices blood on her sheets. Ah, that's why she's been acting weird. But he doesn't know how to handle puberty or period, so he just stammers and leaves. Poor Dad. Tina goes to the bird store and looks at the parrots and parakeets. Then she looks at some bird seed. What on earth does it eat anyway? Tina is startled as Rita appears behind her and asks, oh, does she have a bird? Tina says, no. Well, they might get one, though. Rita then asks, why wasn't she at practice today? And Tina just says, oh, she forgot. Her other friends just call Tina weird, but Rita asks, does she want to walk home with her today? They do so, and Rita tells her some stories of her hometown as they get sprayed with a sprinkler and act like normal kids for a bit. But when they get home, Rita asks Tina to help her hang posters for her missing dog. Back at home, Tina's mother is acting like nothing happened, and is home yet again, kissing her father as if to appear to be still loyal to him. She then pulls out a present and gives it to Tina. Tina opens it, and it's a heart-shaped hairbrush. Matthias, annoyingly, asks, what'd you get him? And she just says, nothing, go away. Matthias looks at the missing dog poster as their mother brushes Tina's hair. Matthias then runs away somewhere, jealous. He comes back holding something in a cloth. He takes it and throws it on the table. It's the bloody headless dog. He bluntly says, it's the neighbor's dog. Tina buried it this morning. He says Tina killed it. The parents say, no, stop lying, Matthias, as they're in shock. Some animal must have just mauled it. Which isn't entirely false, I guess. They yell at Matthias and he pushes Tina over and runs to his room. But as Tina hits the ground, something awakens in her. She opens her eyes with the parallel shot of the bird opening its eyes. They are now connected. Matthias sees something move around in Tina's room and he goes in with his mask on. He tiptoes around until he hears something under the bed. He slowly goes to look, and as he does, something grabs out and slices his mask in twain. In the other room, it looks like Tina is having a seizure. It cuts between Matthias about to be mauled by the bird and Tina convulsing. Tina's mother slaps her and she stops. And at the same time, the bird calms down and backs off. Matthias, understandably horrified, runs to his mother. Tina runs to her room and yells, you cannot do that, understand? Under the bed. Her mother comes in and asks, who are you talking to? And Tina just says, no one, herself. Her mother, suspicious, looks under the bed to find nothing. Just a blanket. Her mother says something smells bad in here. And she opens the closet and screams. Although all she sees is that sparkly leotard ripped apart. The one she gave Tina for the competition. Tina says she doesn't know how it got ripped up, or how it happened. She looks at the top of the wardrobe and the bird is just chilling up there, dripping bird stuff onto the shoes in the wardrobe. Tina just says it wasn't Matthias, it was just an accident, she swears. The mother then says something strange to Tina. She says she thought the competition was just as important to Tina as it was to her mother. Which, shouldn't the little girl be the one who thinks it's important? Her mother slams the door angrily. Tina then does push-ups over and over as the bird makes noises. Tina calls out that she already told it no, but the whining and crying of the bird is too much. She opens the wardrobe and gives it bird seed. However, the poor bird refuses to eat it. It just looks away when offered. Tina then has an idea. She starts eating it, and she eats a lot of it, gulps it down like a mother bird. She then makes herself vomit it up into her hands and then offers that to the bird, looking sick. The bird then hungrily scarfs it down. Tina hums to the bird as she looks at it lovingly. She pets the bird and notices there appears to be little blonde hairs sprouting from its head. Long blonde hairs just like hers. It makes noises and it sounds like it's saying Ali, so that's what she names it, like the folk song she's been singing. Ali then pets Tinya's clothes, as if to say, I'm cold. That night, Tinya has a restless sleep as Ali starts to molt, or whatever birds do. Ali then walks out of her room by itself, and Matthias sees its silhouette. He's understandably horrified and runs away from it, and Ali continues. It goes into her mother's room and it looks like it's about to get revenge on her mother for Tinya, but instead, it just rubs the scar in her mother's face. In the other room, Tinya is sweating profusely in her sleep, and then Tinya's mother wakes up and sees her hands are covered in slime or something, and so is her scar. She wakes up and notices something is moving in the hallway, as well as a bloody feather lying in her room. She goes to the kitchen and takes a knife and looks around the house. She thinks she sees something in a dress, but turns around to see nothing. Something runs up on her, and just as she's about to turn around and stab it, she realizes it's Matthias. He says, Tinya's a monster! His mother just shushes him and puts him back to bed. The next morning, Dad is watering the flowers in his pink shirt and sweater. I love the dad so much. He's so wholesome and deserves none of this. He waves to the neighbor girl, who waves back at him, but he quickly looks to the ground to see where the dog is buried. In Tinya's room, she brushes the wiry hair of Ali and gives her hair a flower. It looks at Tinya, and Tinya calls Ali beautiful, which, At the gym, Tinya does a routine again and falls on the last part of it, only to be caught by Rita. She says thanks, and then the coach tells Rita to go, and have Tinya spot her. But Rita says, oh, she doesn't need a spotter, she's fine. She then does the same routine absolutely flawlessly. Tinya's mother then looks at Tinya angrily. She walks up to the two kids and asks, oh, did Rita find her dog yet? She says, oh, no, she didn't. Her mother says, aw, that's too bad. Then she asks if she wants to be in the competition just like Tinya. Rita says yes, but she's already qualified in. Tinya's mother then looks at her daughter specifically and says, oh, well that just means Tinya has to work even harder to beat Rita, right? Back home, the wardrobe opens on its own. But at the gym, Tinya's mother offers Rita a ride home, them being neighbors and all. But Rita declines, says she likes to walk. As Tinya and her mother drive home, we get some shots of something watching Rita as she goes home. Then in the car, Tinya begs her mom to turn back, as if she knows what's about to happen. They have to turn back. She almost has a panic attack. Rita, on her own, looks behind her. She notices something is following her. Over and over, something is just outside her vision. She picks up her pace until she turns around to see a shadow behind her. She turns around to see something that looks just like Tinya, but its mouth is ripped open and bloody. No beak. What is this thing? Tinya convulses in the car, and her mother tries to calm her down, but the damage is already done. Her mother tries to console her, saying everything's okay. She knows what's going on. Yeah, she knows all about it. She was also nervous before all of her competitions. But one thing always made the stress go away, she says, and that was winning. Every time she won, she thought of herself the next time that she would absolutely win, because if in your mind there's no doubt you're going to win, you always will. Then everyone will see you're the best anyway. You'll win and not be stressed anymore. Her mother says she knows how to de-stress Tinya. Being home is clearly very stressful for her, right? What about this weekend they spend the time at Taro's house instead of their own? When they get home, Tinya rushes to a room and sees all the windows are busted again. Ali has escaped. She turns to the wardrobe and opens it, and on the ground, bloody feathers, and even weirder, a bloody beak. It shed its beak? It's becoming more like Tinya herself. That morning, Tinya and her dad have a talk. He is clearly stressed but puts on a brave face and says he's always respected his mother for knowing what she wants, and she wants this. He looks destroyed deep down. He says it's easy being with someone who knows what they want. Taro's a good man after all. He means good person. Poor dad. Tinya and her mother get to Taro's house, which is a decent-sized house, although it looks like it needs a lot of work. They walk inside and Taro walks out.
Oh no, he's high!
He says, it's nice to meet you, Tinya. And surprisingly, Taro is very nice. He says, make yourselves at home. He shows Tinya her room, but first introduces his daughter, Helmi. from a previous marriage. His former wife had passed away. I expected this guy to be a piece of shit, but Taro's actually kind of a sweetheart. That night, Tina sleeps in a rundown room as something watches her from the shadows. Ali appears in the window and we see her. It looks just like Tina, with missing flesh from her jaws where the beak used to be. Tina allows Ali to sleep in her bed with her as she strokes her hair, telling her everything is okay. The next morning, they all sit down for breakfast, and Taro complains that Tina's mother vlogs everything. It's kind of annoying, but she brushes him off and puts a headband on Helmi. Mom takes a call, and Taro laughs at how fast Tina eats. She gets a little messy, and Tina apologizes, saying she has to be perfect. She's sorry. But Taro says, no, it's okay. See, he throws some food all over, showing her it's okay not to be perfect. Don't worry about it. As her mother cringes at them both in the background. But just then she gets a call from someone and cringes even harder. Tina walks into the all-white hospital. I guess it was a call from Rita's parents or something, as she is now in the hospital. Tina walks into Rita's room and sees that she's all cut up. Bloody stitches cover her face, her hands missing. She tries to hold her one hand that is still there, and Rita grabs at Tina and screams violently, clearly in distress about something. Back in the car, her mother just says, don't let this affect her mindset for the competition. Because now, she's in and Rita's obviously out, missing her hands and all. Tina looks at her own hands and sees Ali's bloody hands instead. She gets back to Taro's house and cries in her room as Ali watches from the wardrobe. She cries to Ali. Why did she do that? She raises her hand and slaps herself, which harms Ali in return. But Ali grabs her hands and just hugs her, comforts her. She cries in Ali's arms all night as the creature rubs her hair and comforts her. How strange. The next morning, Ali is rubbing Tina's head, and we see Ali's face is almost completely human now. Just some bloody marks around her eyes and mouth, and her eyes are white. Taro is working on a chair in the shed with a very Chekhov's gun-looking axe. He says he found this chair in a dumpster and he's fixing it, as people don't treat their belongings well, he finds. So, he treats what they throw out well. He pulls out some gymnastics straps with Tina's name on them and gives them to her. A gift. Tina then shows off her cartwheels to Taro, who watches with glee. But she keeps messing up and she says she'll get it right the next time, she promises. Over and over. She has to be perfect in her mind. Taro says it's okay. She doesn't have to be perfect. He goes over and comforts her. He asks, does she even really like gymnastics? She just says it's a good sport. Keep in mind, that wasn't a yes, and Taro notices that. And then he says he guesses her mother likes it, and it's important to her mother that she does well in it. Taro comforts her by saying, you want to see him try to do a cartwheel? He tries and messes up horribly. Tina laughs, and as she does, horrible screeching noises ring out. They both look up. She says she has to go change really fast, and Taro notices and finds that strange. Taro walks back into his kitchen and sees the fridge is open. Weird. He hears Tina vomiting into something in her room, which we see as her vomiting into a bowl for Ali, who is, of course, eating it. She bars the door so Taro can't get in as he tries to force it open. But as he does, a little crack opens and he can see Ali eating out of the bowl of vomit. And Tina hides so Taro thinks that Ali is her. It looks just like her after all. Taro tries to force his way in as Ali screams and he gets his hand slammed into the door. And Tina tries to close it so he doesn't see them both, causing a weird situation. Later in the kitchen, Taro wraps his hands up and Tina walks in. He asks, does she have anything to say? She says, through tears, she's already packed. She can take the bus home if he wants. He doesn't ever have to see her again. She's terribly sorry. But surprisingly, he says, no one's going anywhere. She's not a horrible person. It's okay. Whatever happened, it happened. It's alright. It was due to the stress. Apology accepted. She's had too much to process lately. He hugs her and says they can talk about it with her mother. Tina just hugs him and says, please don't tell her mother. Taro asks if that was because of the stress of the competition. Tina is about to say yes when her mother walks in and says, alright, time to practice. Taro walks away and says the injury was from an accident in his workshop, covering for Tina. He really is a good guy. Taro watches as Tina practices, her mother chastising her the whole time. Helmi cries as her mother screams at Tina, and her mom walks over and says, "Aw, were they too loud? Was Tina messing up too much to wake the baby?" she asks. Tina looks up at the window and sees Ali staring at her. The mom says, "All right, it's time to get going. The competition awaits." Tina looks back and asks, "Isn't Taro and Helmi coming?" Not wanting them to be alone with Ali. Mother says, "No, they'll stay here." Tina says, "Helmi has to come," worried for the child. Taro tries to talk to the mother about the stress to get her to get out of the whole thing and calm her down, but she brushes them off and they drive away. At the competition, the coach yells at Tina's mother to stop vlogging and go sit with the rest of the parents. Matthias and Dad also sit in the audience as well and watch. Tina sees a vision of Helmi sleeping and Ali watching her on the stair, saying, "Ali, don't do it," over and over. But the coach snaps her out of it and says, "You're up." As she starts her routine, Ali enters Helmi's room with that axe from the workshop. She slowly opens the curtains to Helmi's crib, and just as she's about to swing the axe down, Tina has an idea. She makes herself fall on her arms so it hurts Ali too. Remember, they are connected and Tina knows this. Ali hears Taro come into the room and he sees her, and she screeches and jumps out the window, the axe on the floor. He takes Helmi and comforts the baby. How did any of that just happen? Why was Tina here? At the competition, though, everyone is looking over at Tina, making sure she's okay after she got injured. Her mother grabs her purse and tells them to let's go, but she looks furious. They drive back to Taro's house and he's waiting inside. He walks up to them and asks, does he realize what Tina's done? Tina tries to speak up, but he says, "Shut up." Her mother says, "What is he talking about? They've been at the competition all night." Taro says, "Right now, just a minute ago, Tina was here." He looks at them and tells them both to go to hell. There's something wrong with Tina. He doesn't know what's wrong with her, but they can't stay here anymore. He then says to her mother, "You only see yourself, huh? Your daughter has some serious problems, and I want nothing to do with them. You both need help." Her mother tells her to wait as she goes in and tries to repair the relationship, and Tina cries outside in the car. Hours later, after a long and awkward talk, I assume, her mother comes back with their bags and throws them in the trunk. She gets in, looks angry as hell at Tina. She's breathing heavily, and then Tina tries to comfort her as her mother slams her head into the steering wheel over and over, her perfect life crumbling, her nose now bleeding from the impact. She smears it and looks away at Tina and says, "I wished you'd at least let me be happy." Tina cries as they drive home together, and she looks at her mother, blood all over her face. They get home with the bags, and their dad asks, "What are they doing home so early?" Her mother says, "Tina insisted." She kisses him with blood all over her face, getting it all over Dad's face as well. Matthias comes down and just says, "You lost." Dad then just laughs and says, "Well, it's good to at least have you home." He is so incompetent, but I love him. Tina goes to her room and sees that Ali is already at the window, scratching at it. She angrily goes up to the window and whispers, "Ali, go away." She opens the window and Ali tries to get in, but Tina says stop trying to do anything with her. She pushes Ali out the window and she falls to the ground, convulsing a bit. The creature gets up and screeches. Dad's outside though and sees Ali. He says, "What are you doing out here, Tina?" Thinking it's her. Ali then runs away. In her room, Tina's mother uses makeup to cover up the bruise on her forehead, trying to do an update for her vlog, but she keeps messing up the intro. I can relate, saying, "Don't worry about Tina, she's doing well, and she wants to thank her audience for all their support. They are all part of her family after all." No, that doesn't sound right either. She restarts again and says, "She knows how everything looks perfect in her life, but an important part of everyday life is failing." She stops and puts the camera down, as if hating what she just said to herself, that she's not perfect and her family is not perfect. Tina walks into the room and beckons to her mother, and just looks pissed at her. Tina promises her mother that she can do better, but her mother doesn't even acknowledge that. She just says, "You smell." Back in Tina's room, Dad sees Ali go to the closet. Tina tries to take a bath, and her mother goes into her room and sees Ali in the wardrobe and says, "What are you doing in there? I need you." She tries to grab Ali, saying her hair looks terrible and tangled. She takes out a comb and starts brushing Ali's hair. But Tina hears from the other room and realizes her mother's with Ali. Her mother asks, how can she be so disgusting? Trying to get all the tangles out, and as she does, she rips a piece of Ali's scalp off. She looks at Ali horrified, and Ali gets up in pain and looks at her mother with big claws, and she tries to dig into her back and rub her hair. Tina watches from the door and rushes in to grab Ali and throws her off her mother, showing her mother on full display that there's two of them. Ali lunges at her mom, and Tina tries to get between them, saying she doesn't want Ali anymore. She told her to stop. No one wants her. Ali seems to react to this and screams, and her jaw detaches again. The creature looks saddened by her rejection, and she runs out of the room. Tina turns to her mother, who is understandably dumbfounded, and she asks Tina, what the fuck was that? Tina just says, I hatched it. She then blames everything on Ali, saying she just wants it to go away. Her mother then grabs her child and says, poor baby. She understands now. She hugs her, mother's sweetest little girl. She hugs Tina, and together they go to the kitchen and grab kitchen knives. They're going to hunt Ali down. They walk through the house with the knives and look around for Ali. They hear a noise and get behind cover. They jump out just to see Matthias and Dad just looking dorky together. They ask, is everything okay? Mom says, something's in the house. Don't ask what. It looks like Tina, but it isn't Tina. Everything is its fault. Matthias says, so what he saw was real under the bed? Then Mom says, yes, it was. And tells Dad just to keep him safe while they hunt it down. They go to Tina's room and look around for Ali, under the bed and in the wardrobe, but nothing's there. But Tina's mother doesn't know its hiding place. She doesn't look in the top of the wardrobe. Ali lunges out and grabs the mother and tackles her to the floor, the knife clanging on the floor as she does. A struggle ensues, with mother trying to grab the knife, dripping bird liquid on her face. But she manages to grab the knife and stab Ali in the leg, but as she does, Tina feels it too and screams out in agony and grabs her leg. Mother gets up and holds the knife over Ali, saying, don't worry, Tina, she's got it. Tina asks scared what she's gonna do to it. Mother says, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. As she lunges at Ali and brings the knife down, Tina runs in front of it instinctively and shields it like a mother. Her mother then stabs Tina in the chest. She drops the knife, now realizing what she's done. She cries as Tina falls over. Her mom cries and Tina sleepily falls down, never to wake up again. The blood from Tina dropping in Ali's mouth. Ali moves over Tina's body, and it heals from the blood of Tina. Ali's eyes becoming less milky and more normal. Her bones crack as she rises to her feet. Ali smiles and makes noises while looking at her mother, slowly saying, Mother, standing with an angelic light behind her. Ali stands there to look down at Mother as the new Tina. That's it. That is Hatching. I really like this movie. A very modern feeling dark horror movie. I feel like the message is pretty clear if you think about it, but we're going to talk about it. But first, I want to say I do like this movie more than The Untamed, but not as much as November. I, however, do love the monster in this film. Ali is such a cool design at the beginning, and the message behind her, or whatever you want to call it, is really cool too. At first, the thing is so disgusting and disturbing, but without changing its appearance even, it almost does a complete 180 near the middle point to being almost cute and lovable like a pug. And believe it or not, this creature is not CGI either. It's an animatronic, which is crazy to me because it looks so CGI-like and unnatural, but it isn't. It's an animatronic. But what is the message of Ali, Pugzer? Well, let's talk about it. Now, in my opinion, what Ali is somewhat of the Jungian psychology idea of the shadow. To put simple, the shadow in Jungian psychology is the hidden or repressed part of the subconscious, where all the parts of ourselves that we don't necessarily like or want or acknowledge lie. Repressed parts of our personality. I talk a lot about this more in depth in my Serial Experiments Lane video, but I believe that the message here is that all the hatred and sadness and perceived fault in Tina's personality and her life manifest in Ali. The fact that the egg gets bigger in direct response to her sadness and doubt in her mother kind of exacerbates that fact. In realizing neither Tina or her mother are perfect, the egg grows larger and larger, and she becomes more and more troubled, and eventually the egg hatches and Ali comes out of it. Ali then begins feasting off the vomit of Tinya, the gross part of her imperfections. It lashes out and hurts those she doesn't like without her even meaning to. I mean, look at the fact that they are clearly connected without a reason in the narrative technically. It is a clear message that these are not two separate entities, but one. They get hurt when the other one is hurt. Ali is Tinya's shadow. In the end of the movie, she does something called assimilating with the shadow. They become one. Tinya acknowledges the shadow and merges with it when she realizes that her mother's not perfect, and neither is she, and that's okay. When she unifies with the shadow, in the end, by symbolically feeding her whole self to Ali, she emerges anew, bathed in an angelic light. She has unified with the shadow. The whole movie is clearly hinting towards the Jungian shadow. And at least that's what I believe, if I didn't somehow completely misunderstand. But I want to hear what your thoughts on Ali are and the message of the movie is in the comments. The message, I believe, is that no one is perfect, and we should acknowledge the parts of ourselves that we repress. Love our whole selves, no matter what we are, because it is us. But I think that's about it. I really do love this movie, actually. It isn't quite as dark as most of the stuff we cover, but it is more in line with the really weird kind of horror, like Lane. I really do love you all for helping make my dreams come true, and I actually had a lot more fun with this video than I expected. So I thank you all for taking your time out of your busy day to watch my dumb little bird movie analysis. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.